the beginning of the game, each player receives a package that has roads, cities, and houses. At the beginning of the game, each player rolls the 2 die, and whoever gets the highest number, they go first, and it goes clockwise from there. And each player receives 2 settlements and 4 roads to begin with. And the person who goes first places one of their settlements onto any of the tiles, and then the next person places theirs, and so forth, so on. And then the last person gets to place both of their settlements at the same time, and can place their 2 roads onto each of the settlements. And then it goes to the next person, and then the person who went first goes last in that round. Again, you can only build settlements or cities 2 roads away from another settlement or city. So each tile has a number on it, and when a player rolls a number, that number, whatever tile has that number, anyone that has a settlement or a city on the side of that tile gets that resource that tile represents. And if they have a settlement, it's worth 1 resource, and if they have a city, it's worth 2. Building roads are worth 0 points. Building houses are worth 1, and turning them into cities are worth 2 points. And you can only build a city when you have a house built, so you replace the house with a city. So you can earn 2 points by obtaining the longest road card, and you can get this card when you have the longest unbroken road of at least 5 roads connected. And if any other player builds a longer road than that, then they take the card. You can also get another 2 points by obtaining this card, the largest army, and you get this card when you're the first player to play 3 knight cards, which is this card. And if another player who plays more than the knight cards that you played, that player takes this card. These are called development cards, and there's 5 unique ones. The first one is something that's like this, and this is basically it gives you 1 victory point. This one is called the Year of Plenty, and what you can do is you can take any 2 resources from the bank and add them to your hand. They can be any resource that you want. This one is called Road Building, and you can build 2 roads for free. This one is called Monopoly, and when you play this card, you say one of the 5 resources that you want, and all the other players must give you that resource card in their hands. And this one is called the Knight, and this one is you get to move the robber onto a tile and steal a resource card from anyone who has settlements or cities on that tile. So when you buy a development card, you can't play it until the start of your next turn, and for victory points, you do not show the other players that you have it until with these cards you have a total of 10 points and you win the game. There are a total of 5 different resource cards, and they are brick, sheep, wheat, ore, and wood. And they all correspond to a specific tile. This one is wheat, this one is brick, this one is sheep, this one is wood, and this one's ore. And you use these resource cards to build stuff. So as you see here, there is a building cost sheet, and a road, you need 1 brick and 1 wood to build. A settlement, you need 1 brick, 1 wood, 1 wheat, and 1 sheep to build. A city, you need 2 wheat to build and 3 ore. And a development card, you need 1 sheep, 1 wheat, and 1 ore. if a player has more than 7 cards in their hand, and a player rolls a 7, then that player must get rid of half of their cards. If a player builds a settlement or a city next to a port, then that player can use this port. And there are multiple ports around the map. And so this one, for example, is a 3-to-1 ratio, and this means that you can switch 3 of the same kind of resources for one of another one. And for example, this one is a 2-to-1 ratio, and it has a picture of a sheep. So this means that you can trade 2 sheep resource cards for one of any other resource card. So even if you don't have a port, you can still trade. You can trade 4 of the same kind of resources for one different one. You can also trade on your turn with other people. So say that you want wheat. You can ask anyone like, hey, does anyone have wheat? I'll trade you an ore, and if that person says yes, you guys exchange resource cards. As you can see, this game requires a lot of strategy and analytical / critical skills, such as resource management, like when to either spend resources to build stuff or to save resources to build bigger stuff. And also risk management, for example, should I trade with this person, should I build here or should I build there? It has a lot of critical skills that when you learn how to play, you develop, and as you get better at the game, you develop even more as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you guys can possibly play with your own learners. I hope you enjoy. Thanks.